Guys, there are spoilers for this film in this review, so if you don't want to go missing, go out to film or my spoiler-free review and come back. You have been warned. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Brolin HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Brolin HD, and this week we watched the new Zach Cregger film, Weapons. And I'm not gonna starring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, whatever. This movie was amazing. If you don't know Zach Cregger, he made Barbarian, which I reviewed a couple years ago. Love that. No exception here. This is genuinely, I'm not going to reveal too much here, but this is one of the best marketed horror movies I've seen in the last 10 years. It is probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in the last 5 years. This is genuinely probably one of my favorite movies of the year, if not my favorite movie of the year so far, and this is going to be tough competition. But before I go on a whole tangent, why I love this film, I'll tell you why I love this film and more back at the house.
This is a true story that happened right here in my town. A lot of people die in a lot of really weird ways in this story, but you're not gonna find it in the news.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Rewatching.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I am your host, Ryan HD, and this week we watched Weapons, the new Zach Cregger film, his sophomore film, following up Barbarian. This film was written and directed by Zach Cregger, starring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Amy Madigan, Alden Ehrenreich, and Benedict Wong. This film is a mystery horror thriller, right? And I'm just going to say that this movie, I think, was genuinely one of my favorite movies of the year. And I'm just going to jump straight into this. The marketing was so deceptive in a good way. And I love that. I love how deceptive the marketing was. Because I walked into this movie having no idea what it was going to be about. Like, spoilers, obviously, this is the spoiler review. The fact that the weird shit that was happening in the movie was because of a fucking witch using black magic. That's like the fucking last thing that I expected, right? Like some voodoo magic shit. Definitely didn't expect that one, but I all too welcome, right? I fucking loved the like witch black magic aspect. I really think one thing I really loved, I know I keep talking about the marketing, but dude, one thing I really liked about it was how they didn't show the witch once, except actually they did show her once, but it was out of context, and you didn't know what was going on, and that's the best part. They didn't show any scenes of her, like, with her weird magic stuff. They didn't show any of her scenes of her talking. They didn't show any of that, and that's great. Because when she appeared in the movie, I'm like, who the fuck is this? Right? And that's good. You shouldn't know who this character is yet, because it's a mystery who this character is until you get to the chapter where they reveal this character, a little bit about this character. Right? And one thing I kind of like is they never really explain why she's doing the things she's doing. They don't explain why she kidnapped these children and why she's wreaking chaos on this town. But, I mean, does she? I mean, she's a witch. They're just evil. They're just evil, you know? Evil for the sake of it. Why not? They just do witchy things. They're just different. They're just built different. Right? They're just built different. But I also really liked how in the movie it was kind of non-linear in a way. So the movie started with Julia Garner's character. I think it was Justine was her name. It starts with her, from her perspective. And then at a certain point it stops and then goes to Josh Brolin's character. And then it goes back to the beginning of the movie, but from his perspective, right? And then it gets to a certain point, and then we switch over to another character that we saw earlier in Justine's story, and then it keeps doing that until we get to the end that reveals all. And I love that. I really like how the mystery unfolded and how with each chapter it was important and it was integral to adding to the mystery and, you know, getting more clues as to what's happening, right? I really liked how with each chapter it changed. Well, it didn't change, but it gave you more insight, you know, it was growing, it like stacked on top of each other. I really, really liked that. And I just think the pacing, too, was very good. There's a lot of scenes in this movie where, from, like, the house, like the house where all the bad shit is happening, where, like, the voodoo witch is, like, doing her evil things. Sometimes, like, so essentially what she does is she uses, like, these weird twigs with, like, fabric wrapped around them, and then she wraps, like, hair or something around it that belongs to someone, and she would, like, snap it, and she has these zombies. Like, she turns people into weird magic zombies. Hear me out. These weird magic zombies, by bringing a bell, she can, like, brainwash people, and to, I guess, make them snap out of them attacking someone, she drops, like, the twig that she snaps with the person's hair around it into a bowl of water, right? It's very cool. But there are scenes where the voodoo zombies will open the door to the house that she's in, and they won't immediately walk out. There will be, like, maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds of just the camera on the door, or the characters just looking at the door. There's, like, maybe 2 jump scares in this movie, and you can't even really call them jump scares. Kind of. I mean, they have a loud noise, and they show a character, but I wouldn't really call it a jump scare in the usual sense. It's not cheap, right? It's not a cheap scare. Like, the scare is still scary, and it has build-up, right? And it is a loud noise, but I think it just does it better. I just think the jump scares are better in this movie. Like, some movies can just do jump scares better. I'm sorry. They're just not cheap in some movies. I think it's all about build-up, I think. I think if they have a good build-up, then I think they're warranted sometimes. And they're always, I don't know. I was really on edge the whole movie, right? And I was just like, I didn't know what was going to happen, right? I didn't know what was going to happen to a character, or what, like, because, again, the movie didn't know anything about it. The trailers didn't tell me anything, which is good. I was just in the dark the whole time. In the dark. Because, like, a lot of the movies in the dark, you get it? Because it's at night. Yeah, I'm clever. Anyway, I'm real clever. But I think one thing I really liked is the atmosphere. Because, as I said, I was on edge the whole time, and there's never really a moment where the characters are truly safe. Right? Because, as I said, she's a witch, so she can use magic to just, like, if she got a strand of their hair or anything that belonged to them, she could just send one of her voodoo zombies to go and kill them, right? Or she could possess one of the main characters at any time. She does that to 2 of them, right? This is kind of an ensemble cast here, because this is several people. I mean, one thing I really liked about the movie, there was a surviving kid in the classroom. I know we keep talking about the marketing, but it's just so well done. They never mention the kid, at least not that I remember, in the trailers. Because if they did, it kind of would have ruined the effect. They say that all the kids go missing. But then when the movie reveals that there's a missing kid, I'm like, that there wasn't a missing kid, that there was one kid that showed up, I'm like, what the fuck? What happened here? Right? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is there a kid that's still there? And I don't know. I think also a movie like this, I feel like I'm going to need to rewatch it, because I don't think I picked up on everything. Right? It's one of those kind of movies. Because there were several mentions of parasites, right? Like, burrowing into things, like ringworms, and there was also on the TV, they were talking about zombie ants, and I get it, like the voodoo thing, but obviously it's parasitic, because she's, like, brainwashing them and making them do her bidding. And also, I liked the climax of the movie, because it's kind of bleak. Because, yeah, the witch is defeated, right? The whole movie, I'm like, when they reveal the witch, I'm like, oh, she's gonna die, because they're gonna turn her zombies against her, right? One of the people is gonna put her hair around the twig and snap it, so her zombies are gonna kill her, right? That was an obvious way to end the movie. That's not predictable. That's a good, like, thematic way to end it. Because, she was killing people the whole movie with these zombies. It's only poetic. It's kind of ironic for the things that she was using to kill people kills her, right? Makes sense. But that scene is really, I think it's funny, because, like, the kid, Alex, the kid that didn't get kidnapped, he snaps the twig with her hair, and she can sense it. She goes, oh no. And then like a fucking army, the 17 kids that go missing from the basement just run out. And then it's like a minute or two of her just running through the neighborhood screaming from an army of children. And she's like running through houses and the kids are just fucking bursting through the glass, shoving people, trampling people. And she's just like literally just fucking screaming. She knows she's fucked. And if one of them got her, you know, she would be fucked. And she's just running. And then I love how it would sometimes cut to the random pedestrians, and they would just be staring. I'm like, what the fuck? Like she would be, and then like the kids just chasing her behind her. I think it was supposed to be funny, because it was kind of funny. But then when they got her, it was really gory, because then they fucking ripped her apart, like really brutally, like fucking zombies. They ripped her arms and legs off. They ripped her ears off. And then they ripped her jaw open. Like, they split her head in two. Like, from her jaw and then her upper jaw. It was great. All I'm saying is it was great. I just really liked that scene. And I could go on all day about things that I really liked about the movie. And funny things, scary things. But I think, even though I've said a lot here, I still think if you haven't seen the movie, why are you watching this review? Go watch the movie. You just got everything spoiled. What are you doing? You should have seen this movie. Anyway, even if you haven't seen this movie, even if I spoiled everything, go and watch the movie anyway. It's just so well done, and I think genuinely that we've got something special here. I think this is just such a special movie, and I think Zach Cregger really has a gift when it comes to filmmaking. I think he gets it. You know, obviously he's only made 2 movies, but I just think with how good his 2 movies are, he's not gonna dip. Like, there's no way he dips in quality. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I just can't wait for his next movie, and I would highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it, even though you shouldn't have watched this video at all. But with that being said, I really, really enjoyed this movie, and you should watch it too. But you might be asking, Ronan, you loved this movie. You recommended. What would you rate it? I hope you asked that anyway, because I'm going to answer it. I would rate this movie a 9 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, I hope you all liked this video. Share with friends, subscribe, turn notifications on, let me know if you liked it. And I'll be RTMHD. Off to kill a witch. So, one thing I love about this movie is just the atmosphere, right? I think this movie has an atmosphere that not many modern movies possess. Like, it takes its time. You know, it lets scenes simmer. It's so good. I genuinely think, like, the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes says that this movie solidifies Zach Cregger's status as a master of horror. I agree. He made Barbarian and this. That's all I need. This guy's a modern master of horror. I am ecstatic to see what he comes up with next. And you know I'm going to be there.